There was movement at the station, for the word had passed around that the Colt from old Regret had got away and had joined the wild bush horses. Snowy River let the pony have his head, and he swung his stock whip round and gave a cheer, and he raced him down the mountain like a torrent down his bed, while the others stood and watched in very fear.
Paterson College had its birth in 1989 over a shared meal between four close friends as they pondered the education of their children, the future for their own grandchildren, and indeed the future of many young families on the Gold Coast for years to come. They saw a need for a school of substance, a school that celebrated our Australian heritage, a school with traditional values, and yet one with a progressive mindset to education within a caring and supportive environment. From this simple, humble meal and initial discussion, the vision of this college was born. Standing here today, I'm sure we would all agree that this vision was indeed a vision splendid. Our college has grown from strength to strength. We have developed magnificent facilities, a leading teaching and learning framework, and enabled innovative thinking whilst retaining our core traditional values. Our connection to our Australian heritage and our namesake has only but deepened over the years, and now further enhanced with the development of Barty's Place in Winton, and our plan to aid and support regional teachers in remote locations and communities through our educational consultancy and training programs. Today we further cement an important milestone in the history of our school and once again acknowledge the importance of our Australian heritage as a community. The Man from Snowy River, written by Banjo Paterson, is Australia's most epic ballad and first appeared in print on 26th of April 1890. The ballad recounts the legendary exploit of a heroic mountain man's daring ride against impossible odds. A ride that few would attempt. A ride that depicts the perilous journey that we sometimes face in life. This particular ride captures the very essence of Australia's pioneering spirit and courage as he rode down that terrible and steep descent.
And upward, ever upward, the wild horses held their way, where mountain ash and Curragong grew wide. And the old man muttered fiercely, "We may bid the mug good day, no man can hold them down the other side." When they reached the mountain summit, even Clancy took a pull. It well might make the boldest hold their breath. The wild hop scrub grew thickly, and the hidden ground was full of wombat holes, and any slip was death. But the man from Snowy River let the pony have his head, and he swung his stockwhip round and gave a cheer, and he raced him down the mountain like a torrent down its bed, while the others stood and watched in very fear. He sent the flintstones flying, but the pony kept his feet. He cleared the fallen timbers in a stride, and the man from Snowy River never shifted in a seat. It was grand to see that mountain horseman ride. Through the stringy barks and saplings, on the rough and broken ground, down the hillside at a racing pace he went, and he never drew the bridle till he landed safe and sound at the bottom of that terrible descent. He was right among the horses as they climbed the farther hill, and the watchers on the mountain, standing mute, saw him ply the stockwhip fiercely. He was right among them still, as he raced across the clearing in pursuit. Then they lost him for a moment, where two mountain gullies met in the ranges, but a final glimpse reveals, on a dim and distant hillside, the wild horses racing yet, with the man from Snowy River at their heels. And he ran them single-handed, till their sides were white with foam. He followed like a bloodhound on their track, till they halted, cowed and beaten. Then he turned their heads for home, and alone and unassisted brought them back. But his hardy mountain pony, he could scarcely raise a trot, whose blood from hip to shoulder from the spur. But his pluck was still undaunted, and his courage fiery hot, for never yet was mountain horse a cur. And down by Kosciuszko, where the pine-clad ridges raise their torn and rugged battlements on high, where the air is clear as crystal, and the white stars fairly blazed at midnight in the cold and frosty sky, and where around the overflow the reed beds sweep and sway to the breezes, and the rolling plains are wide. The man from Snowy River is a household word today, and the stockmen tell the story of his ride.
This depiction has been immortalised in one of Australia's finest and most important statues, aptly named The Man from Snowy River. And today we gather to celebrate the generous donation of this stunning and most iconic Australian sculpture from the Raptors family to our college. This bronze sculpture, originally mounted in the Nikon Plaza in 26th of April of 1990 to commemorate the centennial of the ballad's first publication and as a tribute to Australia's greatest folk hero, now immortalised forever in Australia's heritage. And now, thanks to the generous donation of A. Raptis and Sons, this iconic Australian statue now resides in our community. It will forever remain a statement of our Australian heritage, our humble beginnings, and the power of the human spirit to overcome even the greatest of challenges. And at this time, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Tim Byrne, Chief Executive Officer of Raptis Investments, who is representing the Raptis family at our proceedings today. Tim, we're truly honoured that we are the custodians of this amazing sculpture and wish you to know and ask you to take this back to the family, that it not only connects to our values as a community, but will serve as a sign of great inspiration for all and resilience against the odds. I'd also like to thank one of our college parents, Mr. Brad Lindeberg, and the Honourable Sam O'Connor, MP, for enabling an introduction to the Raptis family, without which the statue may never have found its place here. Thank you also to Simon Brooke and Stephen Murphy for your wonderful assistance and guidance on the project. Thank you to Greg Davies from Stokes and Wheeler for your passion and your personal touches to this project. They've made it indeed very special. And of course, thanks to our entire grounds team for the work that you have done in making that front entry so beautiful. So thanks to the Raptis family, this stunning sculpture and symbol of the very heart of our country will now grace the entrance to one of Australia's leading independent schools.
Well, 2020 was a challenging year, and I think we learnt many things, but mainly the importance of resilience and believing in ourselves. So every morning when we drive in and we see that, it will be a reminder of how far we've come.
It shows that the man from Snowy River was the only one that was brave to go down the very steep hill. The message is to try your best and to be brave even though that you might fail the first time.